introduction. The best gift, the ultimate gift in the whole wide world is found in the heart. It gives people hope. Hope is the best medicine because you can't always cure people, but you can give them strength to carry on, and that's what hope does. Grandmother T was obviously dying. She was reduced to skin and bones. She could barely speak or eat. She loved to zydeco dance once, but her step was all gone. So was most of her generation, prompting her to ask, why am I still here? Her life spanned 99 years. She accepted dying from old age because she had to, but no one can accept dying alone without faith, and they don't have to. They just need help from the gift inside them. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be before you speaking today. My friends, you are not going to walk out of here the same way you walked in. I am going to take you on a journey of new possibilities for your life. Shake someone's hand on your left and right and say, let's ride.
That's right.
That's together, man.
I was born and raised in Louisiana where gumbo, crawfish, and Mardi Gras reign supreme. Some of y'all might know about that. Les ailes bon temps roulé, as we like to say in Louisiana. Let the good times roll.
Okay.
I'm the eldest of 5 of William and Sylvia, who've been married for over 56 years.
Wow.
They never had a fight, depending on the time of day. I asked my dad, what's the secret? He said, son, I told your mom, baby, if you ever leave me, I'm coming with you.
That's good.
It said the 2 most important moments in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why. After a successful career as a pharmaceutical executive, military officer, wellness expert, and professional athlete, my why, my purpose, is to inspire men, women, and children to leave a legacy, while manifesting for them why it's important to live their dreams, not their fears. It was 10 long years of procrastination, of putting off and making excuses over and over again, until I finally made a commitment to complete my first book. The title, Why is Your Reason for Being? Horace Mann said, we should be ashamed to die until we've made some major contribution to humankind. This contribution includes 2 fundamental messages in the book. The first is, the more you give, the more value you create for others, and the more enriching and fulfilling your life becomes in every sense of those 2 words. The second message is, no matter what your socioeconomic status is, no matter how long you've lived on this earth, you can retake control of your life and transform it if you make the commitment not to interfere with the natural flow of your body, mind, and spirit. The book is about you. It's about inspiring you to do more, learn more, dream more, and become more. How many of you have some goals you'd like to achieve for 2017? Of course, yes. How many of you know that if you had your life to live over again, you could do more than what you've done thus far? Yes, yes. I know something about you without even knowing you. You have greatness in you. I want to make 4 things clear right now. The first is, I'm not going to say anything that you haven't already heard. The second thing is, I'm not going to say anything that you don't already know. Here's what else I want to make clear. I don't want you to agree with me. No, I'm not asking for that. And number 4, I don't want you to believe me. All I'm suggesting is this, is that the ideas and principles I'm about to share with you, that you work with them. And whatever your goal is, whether it's to dramatically improve your health, dramatically improve your relationships, dramatically improve your talents, your skills, your abilities, whatever it is, I'm saying to you these ideas and principles that have worked for me can work for you. If you get 1/5 of the results that I've gotten in my life, your life will be in a much better spot, and you'll be very excited about that. We are all connected through the energy of the universe, the genesis of each and every one of us. And in that sense, the key to happiness and fulfillment is making a commitment to doing what life has given us to do. When you pursue what's inside you, you are more likely to be driven by your purpose, the deepest wishes of your soul revealed by your heart. What matters? Robert Beno said, the heart does not answer to the mind. The heart reveals the deepest wishes of the soul. No amount of clever justifications or smart excuses alters the heart's wish. It just delays the richly fulfilling life you truly seek. My own life is an example of committing to answers in my heart. I had a choice to make. It's a moment etched in my mind. I was lying in the emergency room bed with excruciating pain in my lower back, thinking about whenever I could muster the mental strength, in spite of the physical discomfort, thinking about how fragile and unpredictable life is. The diagnosis? I was focused on my career and had taken my eye off what matters, my mental and physical well-being. The prognosis? If I didn't want to end up back in the emergency room, I needed to resolve the disconnect which was in my heart relative to what was reality. It was at that moment that I made a decision to begin living the life I truly seek, designing my life so it makes sense to me. With that, it really is about the conundrum you find yourself in when you're not living in alignment with your true self. The reality is this: you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. And like many people, unfortunately, instead of me programming my life, life was programming me. When you live what's inside you, you are more likely to be driven by your life's purpose. What I discovered personally while convalescing in the emergency room is that when you interfere with the natural flow of your body, mind, and spirit, you not only compromise your ability to tap into your potential for living all that you're capable of, but you also compromise your ability to live a harmonious life, a life of well-being, mentally and physically. This untimely experience had a profound impact on me and my life. It helped me to begin my journey of transformation. What matters to you? What do you value? Like stars in the sky, born out of a precarious struggle between gravity and pressure, you must take a chance on finding what matters to you if you are to live the life you truly seek. This is in spite of what challenges that we face. Let life find you developing a new star, one which enriches the universe. Why not let that star be you? For many of us, it's easy to get trapped by economic necessity and settle for existence rather than substance. That's easy. How do we avoid that trap? By setting goals. We all know that's easier said than done. When I returned home from college for a break, I noticed a paper posted on the refrigerator. It listed some of the goals my dad had set for himself. Help wife more. That's a real good one, isn't it, ladies? Lose weight. Be more productive at work. A few days later, after giving it some thought, my mom decides she wants to help my dad with his goals, right? She wrote, redo kitchen, buy new furniture. At this point, my sister is feeling left out. She wrote, buy new flat screen TV. It never ends, does it? Upon noticing how his list had evolved, my dad decides to alter his goals with 3 words. Get another job. Sound familiar? Yes. For many of us, it's easy to get into that trap. And far too many of us fall into what I call the society pit. I was one of these people. Following and imitating the masses, which sets us on a course, drifting automatically. Graduate high school, maybe enter college, get a degree, then rush into a full-time job. Working on jobs for financial gain, not because they particularly interest us, appears to be the common scene. Our social structure seems to have misdirected us. And the conformity of our society is exceedingly conflicting with the human spirit, our creativity, our emotions, our fear, our intellect, and our passions. For me, I knew I needed to make a change. I was seated at my living room table in a pensive mood, thinking about my life, the many things I had accomplished, experienced, and learned along the way to that moment. The good and the less desirable things that brought me to that space and time. It was this self-awareness that hit me. If I continued on the same path I had been traveling, I would likely look back one day with regret for having lived a less than fulfilling life. Don't get me wrong. I love my career, I did. But deep down inside, I knew there was something more in me, that there was more to life than the conformity indoctrinated by society. I began to wonder, how many other people are there in this world who are living a life of what appears to be happiness and success, but feel there is so much more in them to live a life of participation rather than accumulation? Think about this for a second. We are all self-made, but only the successful will admit it. In that sense, self-made needs the right kind of energy. Abraham Lincoln once refused to hire a guy because of his face. People tried to convince him that this guy can't help it. Lincoln replied, "Anybody over 40 is responsible for their face. Imagine a depressing face looking at you every day. Enough to make your blood pressure rise." I'm warning you, keep away from these dead faces. It's contagious. This is serious stuff. Some people are so negative they can walk into a dark room and begin to develop. Some of this energy will short circuit your greatness. But when there's hope in the future, there's power in the present. Let's take a closer look at that. The best doctor in the whole wide world does more than control blood pressure, treat diabetes, and push pills. It gives people hope. Hope is the best medicine because you can't always cure people, but you can give them strength to drive on. And that's what hope does. Larry was a very dear friend of mine who loved his wife and son. He was dying, but only he knew. He knew he couldn't be cured. In spite of all this, Larry remained passionate about helping his patients feel better. He loved informing his colleagues of the latest advancements in medicine. And because he never held back, he was able to drive on. What is it that holds many of us back? Yes, life is challenging, but you are unbeatable. Because you're unbeatable, because you have powers you haven't even begun to realize yet, you owe it to yourself to release your brakes. How many of you have had the experience of pulling out of your driveway? You press on the accelerator, but the car stalls. You press even harder. The car still doesn't move. Then you realize you have your emergency brakes on. You release the brakes, the car then drives on. Sound familiar? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most of us go through life with our brakes on, holding back, not giving all of ourselves, not sharing all that we have to give. Most of us go to our grave still holding on rather than releasing it. What are some of the things that keeps us from releasing it? Past experiences, past defeat, past pain. Many people confuse their performances with who they are. Case in point, Pat Riley, the former head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, once told his team after they were beaten badly, "Tonight, we are exposed for what we are right now." It means if my speech doesn't work out today, it doesn't mean I'm a bad speaker. It means what I did today didn't work. I've got to separate what I do from who I am. I've got another chance. The last chapter of your life has not been written yet. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter about the things you've done that you feel guilty about. No. Take someone's hand on your left and right and say, "Release your brakes."
Release your
Release your
brakes.
Yes.
Right now.
Drive on.
Drive on.
It was an early Tuesday morning when I called Larry's office. He was to speak that day on the latest heart failure study. I was shocked when the person on the phone said, "Dr. Larry passed away last night." I struggled to respond coherently. The only thing that kept looping through my mind at that moment was, I just had lunch with him yesterday. Larry lived a fearless life. He never held back. He gave his all, even in the face of death. He died due to heart failure. He was only 38 years old. As I sat in the pew at his memorial, tears of anxiety and confusion streamed down my face. It took some time, but I finally came to realize that Larry was the best doctor in the whole wide world. He never had a need for emergency brakes. Like Larry, you, me, every one of us had the power to drive on. Jim Rohn said, "If you had enough reasons, you could do the most incredible things. Reasons will change your whole life. Reasons come first, answers come second." He goes on to say, "You don't get the answers to do well until you get the reasons. Life has a mysterious way of hanging on to all the answers and only gives them up to those who are inspired by reasons." A great example of reasons and change is the Wright brothers. It was the Wright brothers, not Samuel Pierre Pont Langley, who on December 17, 1903, ushered in a new technology and changed the world forever. What allowed the Wright brothers to succeed where Langley didn't? The Wright brothers were driven by a purpose, a cause, a belief. They believed if they could figure out how to make this heavier-than-air man-machine fly, they could change the world. Langley, on the other hand, was in pursuit of fame and fortune. He wanted to emulate some of the most innovative pioneers of the day, like Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison. The difference? The Wright brothers started with why. Langley started with what? When you start with why, you not only create value for yourself, you create value for others as well. When you start with why, you make a decision to act. When you act, you begin to access powers within you that gives you the authority to boost your self-esteem, to enhance and increase your personal power. That puts you in charge of life. Life takes on a whole new meaning for you. There's a sense of personal freedom for you. Now, this doesn't mean you're not going to have any disappointments. Doesn't mean you're not going to make mistakes. Doesn't mean you're not going to have any setbacks or struggles. No, it doesn't mean that. But here's what it does mean. It means that you put yourself in a position to grow, to be in alignment with your higher calling, your higher self. That's what's important in life. How many of you have seen the blockbuster movie, The Matrix Reloaded? Okay, good, good. Well, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's been over 10 years, so get the DVD and watch it. It's just as good today as it was over 10 years ago. The movie is steeped in spiritual symbolism. It delves into reality versus illusion. In one scene, the Merovingian talks about causality and purpose. He says, to regain our personal power, we must focus our energy on understanding why things are as they are. That starts with knowing why we are as we are, why we believe as we do, why we feel as we do, why we behave as we do. He goes on to say, why is the only real source of power. Without it, we are powerless. This is true. Without the why, we are powerless. Many of us live a life of illusion in that this dream world is a reality. Our particular dream world is formed by technology, consumerism, the media, and certain aspects of modern civilization that keeps humans distracted from their potential. This illusion is based on answers. And in that sense, the key to living a fulfilling life is getting the reasons. Because once you do have the reasons, you can live an incredible life. Reasons come first, answers come second. Think about this. More than 100 years later, we might have been talking about Samuel Pierpont Langley, not the Wright brothers. But it was the Wright brothers who focused on creating value for others. The Wright brothers made a choice to take a chance to change the world. Progress is impossible without change, and those who refuse to change their mind will never change anything. George Bernard Shaw. We all have a choice. We all have a chance. We all can change our life and the world around us. What is it that would allow you to summon the power necessary to begin your journey of transformation? Energy. Everything is energy. Your thoughts begin it, your emotions amplify it, and your actions create its momentum. For example, just imagine we're all standing together, forming a circle. In my hands, I'm holding a basket of inspiration. I take that basket and pass it to you on my right. You then take it and pass it to your right, so on and so forth, until it comes back around to us. What we give, we receive. Now, at any time that basket of inspiration was being passed, someone decides to stop and hold it there, we all suffer. That person has short-circuited the flow. That person has stopped the energy from going around. What you don't give, you don't receive. You and I are part of a universal equation. As such, we are needed. That universal equation is the universal law of reciprocation. It has been at the heart of civilization from the very beginning. That basket of inspiration is your gift. Share it. Life is about revelations of the heart. Something my grandmother experienced. Seeing her reduced to nothing but skin and bones was hard. As I sat there with tears in my eyes, I knew it wouldn't be long before she was called home. I began to think about her amazing life of 99 years. She is a tremendous example of overcoming the odds. She lived through 2 world wars, witnessed numerous presidents for whom she was not allowed to vote, married my grandfather, and had 8 children. Now that would have been enough right there for most women. endured the Great Depression and the Jim Crow laws of the South, was amazed by a world of new technology, and lived each day with dignity and grace. Being her eldest grandchild, I said, Grandmother T, the answer is in your heart. You're still here because of your faith, not in spite of it. Barely able to speak, she said to me softly, that's all we can do. Have faith. For you, for me, for every one of us, we must have faith in our heart. I'm going to leave this with you. Howard Thurman, Dr. King's mentor, said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members standing around their bed praying with them as they cross over. Now imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed. Standing around you are the dreams and the ideas given to you by life. The talents and the gifts that you never took the time to nurture, that you never took the time to develop. The skills you never did anything with. Standing around looking at you with very large, angry eyes saying, we came to you. Only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. The question is, if you died today, what dream, what ideal will die with you? What talent, what ability will die with you? What book, what business, what invention, what technology, what seminar, what song, what speech will die with you? No. The gift is in your heart. This has been Grandmother T's eldest grandchild, KJ Levan, saying it's been a gumbo pleasing pleasure and a privilege. Mercy be cool.